people to make this setup work. For this, with good artifacts, you end up outgrowing the Primordial Jade Wing Spear. But if you can't tell already by who I'm using, who I think the most underrated unit in the game is, I'm going to have to go with Aloy. Because Hydro applicators are really bad at applying Hydro.
Hello there, Flip here, and today we're going to be doing a Genshin Court, as I may have stumbled upon the greatest gold mine for shit takes I've ever seen. I feel like I figured out a fucking infinite gold mine glitch without how many videos this dude makes, with a good more than half of them being a what the fuck moment. Anyways, the one subject to be trialed today is none other than a content creator called Valkyrja. I may just call this man's Valk before I end up clowning on myself. And for the first time watchers who don't know what the Genshin Court is or what it entails, the TLDR of it is that I'll be trialing certain Genshin content creators on their takes on certain characters or the game in general. You can watch my other videos on this for a better grasp of it. And as always, standard duty practices, if at any point during the video you're entertained, make sure to drop a like and even consider subscribing, or a random stranger called Ted will be under your bed and steal your cheese. I'm sorry he forced me to do this. Now back to the topic at hand. Valk. He's actually a content creator that inspired one of my previous vids a while back during Raiden's first banner, when I said that going full ER on Raiden and ignoring other stats is stupid. And oh my, have his takes just fucking exploded in bullshittery from there. Which we're about to see in the first piece of evidence, which if I'm not mistaken, yep, disappointing.
So today, I want to talk to you about it and why Noelle is actually super broken and nobody really uses her.
Noelle just isn't super broken. Calling Noelle super broken is saying she's on the same level as Bennett or Jincho. Noelle doesn't do anything that exceptional to where you can call her broken to any extent whatsoever.
But I still can recognize how strong this character is. She's going to be hitting very hard, she's going to be self-shielding, and she's going to be healing the team all at once. She's a very powerful unit that if you sleep on, that's kind of to your own detriment.
I do think Noelle is a good unit. There are only really a handful of units in the game I think are bad, like Mistake 1, Mistake 2, and Mistake 3 over here. But the problem with Noelle and the other units that are just good is how many better options there are above them. Every character in Genshin takes the same amount of resources, which is why saying shit like you're hurting your account by not building Noelle, or that she's super broken is so damaging. There could be a new player who decides to build Noelle over the scrawny water femboy because they see Wowzer Noelle amazing. Also, one more thing I want to address, which is a really annoying point, is that the fact that Noelle can do so many things, which is a term called role consolidation, isn't a good point, when she isn't exceptional at anything. Noelle's healing and shielding is meh, so we're only really taking into account her damage, which is just okay. There's no point in bringing up how many things a character can do when they don't shine at anything. And I find it funny how sleeping on Noelle is a detriment, which is ironic considering his Noelle isn't even built. You just can't make this shit up.
Give her a shot. She functions really well with White Blind, but functions even better with Redhorn Stone Thresher.
Also, go ahead and get her an Albedo for the sub DPS damage and particle gen, as well as a Goro, preferably C6, to buff her more, and potentially a Zhongli for the Geo-Res Shred and more shield uptime. And don't forget the fact that you may have to use your Bennett slot for her as well. And that concludes all the talk for this piece of evidence. Overrating an okay unit without laying out any of her flaws, with your test for her being a fucking domain. Take 5 years for this brainlet take, as well as some compulsory English language classes, so you can learn how to properly explain something other than use adjectives. Because that's all the video was. Noelle so good, Noelle really broken, Noelle amazing unit. Anyways, let's go on to the next piece of evidence.
But from a pure utility standpoint, I'm going to be talking about C0 Raiden because her constellations do nothing but add damage. So if all I do is if I don't talk about her damage, then I'm talking about C0 Raiden because everything just adds more damage.
How do you not even know what the constellations for a character you wailed on do? Both C4 and C6 Raiden aren't damage boosts to Raiden, and it's giving you more utility than you think.
I have lots of videos. I tested this for over a week whenever...
Your testing is shit.
Right? That's why C0 Raiden Shogun is so good, is because she just lets you ult constantly, and that's why her on National is a thing.
Okay, thank you for making this point, because unlike the straws you are grasping at to appease your simpage, here's a genuine misconception you stated about Raiden that not many people realize. Raiden isn't slotted on National just because she restores energy. That would make her still a good choice for people who struggle with energy management. But the reason why her National team in single target at least cannot compete the other National variants is because Raiden is Electro, and she applies so much of the element at a good rate, so when you pair this with Xingqiu, you have constant EC aura on the enemies, which ramps up a lot, and then pair this with Zhang Ling with her Pyronado, and you're then overloading and vaporizing the same hit, making you proc a shit ton of reactions. This is one of the reasons why Raiden National is so good, but it's often overlooked.
Remove her damage, just completely remove her damage altogether. Your Raiden Shogun's dealing negative damage. She's straight up just dealing 0 hit. Her utility is still phenomenal for the team. She provides so much beyond just damage, but everyone's hyper focused on her damage this, damage that.
The problem with this point is that Raiden takes up around 10 seconds of her field time to give her utility, which is like half a rotation. If Raiden did no damage, she would be horrible because she always extends rotations, which is why she isn't a universal flex pick like people say she is.
Because, like I said, just look at her Abyss usage. The numbers kind of speak for herself. She's only gone up over time. Like, that means if she's just going up over time in ownage versus usage rate, that means more people that got her, built her, tried her, and said, damn, this is nice, I don't want to take this out of my team, and kept using her.
That's not how. I'm not doing this again. Alright, that's basically it for this piece of evidence. It wasn't that bad, just some misconceptions and not understanding that someone with the C6 character will pretty much never understand the perspective of someone without cons all that well. I made another video on this as well. Valk, I will now add 3 more years onto your sentence for a total of 8 years, and now you'll also have to take compulsory science classes as well to reevaluate what you mean by testing, as going into domain and clearing it is not good testing. Let's move on to the final piece of evidence for this court session. It's gonna be something.
Stuff and how there's always this like elitist community of people who are like, oh, I use the absolute best teams possible, I clear Abyss 20 seconds faster than you, I'm better.
In my time of playing Genshin and interacting with the community, I have never once seen this shit happen. Usually when you clear Spiral Abyss with 36 stars, no one cares how fast you did it. From the people I've interacted with, they only compared their own times and tried to get a faster time for their own personal record. Anyone who says they are better than you because they cleared Spiral Abyss 10 seconds faster than you is just a loser. Same with people who force meta down other people's throats. But how does that in any way invalidate meta just because some people are dicks about it?
I don't care about constellations because the game's so easy. So, if you can't figure out the answer to the rant that I'm going to have today already, it's the game is entirely easy. I'm going to explain everything and explain why. So,
the argument that the game is easy so it doesn't matter who you use is an argument I just don't like and is super fucking arrogant, especially coming from someone who's a whale. Why are you of all people talking about how easy the game is? There is zero fucking way the neurons in your brain don't connect to realize how much of a shit point that is. The game is not balanced around 5-star character constellations. When you have multiple constellations on your 5 stars, then go through Abyss with them, no shit it's going to be significantly easier. It would be like if LeBron James went to a primary school, started dunking on 9-year-olds, and then said basketball is easy. Valk, I encourage you to go make your own free-to-play account and full clear Abyss in a week if it's so easy.
The game is so like stupid easy that I feel like anybody could do anything, right? Like, I'm just sitting here, I'm barely paying attention, I didn't even have Zhongli's shield on.
You're doing daily commissions, relax.
There's this really like kind of toxic mindset within the community to where if something isn't meta, then it's just bad, right?
I feel like he doesn't understand that people play the game for different reasons. I'm guessing Valk is a waifu and husbando player, which is why he's taking the heaviest overdose on copium. But players care about their resources because there are people that want to slam dunk the game and clear Abyss. That's why there are so many help channels on almost any Discord server you go to that's Genshin related. That's why there's theory crafters and many people that support it. There are players that like the achievement of clearing the hardest thing in the game, even if there's no incentive behind it. That's why people compare characters, because for some people, why would they roll to build a character they would get no use out of, as they don't strengthen or give them new strong teams they can clear Abyss with, or help them clear Abyss with. Also, another thing discussing meta does is allow people to cope with FOMO, a fear of missing out, which is something Genshin capitalizes on for sales. By accurately knowing how good a character is, it can help people make better decisions with their money and their primos, which is another thing you just failed to mention. And lastly, the fact that I know you're talking from the deepest stretches of your anus with this take is the fact that you recommend pulling and building specific characters. But why would you be doing this if the game is so easy? Either you're just a hypocrite or an idiot. Actually, it seems like you answered that one.
And I know it's incredibly hypocritical for me because I'm a channel that, one, I do say like, oh, this unit's probably the best unit in the game. The game's so easy, it doesn't matter. You can run whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Just invest in it like crazy and you'll crush Abyss.
Yep, just hyper invest in every unit and you won't struggle.
Reason I've never made a tier list video. I'll never make a tier list video. I'll never make a tier list video. I'll never make a tier list video.
Like, you actually can't make this shit up. I know in the video he goes to say 6 million times that he's extremely biased because he's too scared to admit that he's being a hypocrite. But just like with IIntoLose's disclaimers, it doesn't matter. Content creators on Genshin for some reason don't realize the influence they hold. Valk, if you paid attention to your comment section and wonder why people ask for your advice and opinions on stuff, it's because they trust your opinion no matter how you presented yourself. There are people that trust Sekapoko, for fuck's sake. Your disclaimer of you being extremely biased doesn't matter, as your fans that trust you will share your opinion to others, and when what you say is vastly incorrect, just like that, misinformation gets spread.
Chief, Genshin's such an easy game, and it's one of the things I was hoping that would get shown with Arataki Itto, is that what's always meta isn't always what's best for you. Just have fun.
Yes, because if you like meta, it means you are having zero fun in the game and don't enjoy it. That's enough of whatever the fuck that piece of evidence was. Valk, your final sentence is serving 15 years for being an ignorant whale and leading more people to be misled. And you'll also have to pay the cost of my brain transplant, as I need to get replaced from having to stomach through hours of your content for this shit. Take this motherfucker away. Court is now closed. And we are done. All in all, Valk has to be the second worst content creator to be child besides Seka. Trust me, and when I say trust me, this dude posts so much content, like he posts more in a week than I do in a month. Which says more about me than him, but I digress. There was many more videos I could have covered, but this video would have been too long. Whenever Valk tries to cover meta or give any sort of guide, it just doesn't work. This man's takes are terrible, and like with what happened during Raiden's first rerun, it can lead to mass misinformation being spread, which isn't healthy for the community. And on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what you think about Valk, as I'd love to hear it and I respond to almost every single comment. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace. Stay with me, little bitch, yeah, you know that